There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. Of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. Not opening for you. That's not opening on its own. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what? There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was... He said it was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples did... The impending... Had it not been for the tree... Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with... You found... The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be... You hand... He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of... Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come. Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your he says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. He lost you there for a while, but no... He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it was... The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, that his friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of he wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't... Regard... You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by... He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are two nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out-of-Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe's Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you. He can sense you share... Regardless, you... Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded. This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone. That's the Myriad Tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know. Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Doesn't know if the Sifu will have time for you, but he'll let you in to find...
Sibi? Lappanen aginkan man. Keratna falo hutut mustugai lavute.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall... The wall that separates them from the other side? The wasteland you came from? He's The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it consisted of the Sifu. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still... He was hoping you'd join. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with... Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner.
Porote nat. Galato fone.
They might bring them war, but they'll never take away. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wung Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen.
Garada woof and a mat game.
You both have gentle minds, so they want to wage a gentle war. A war that bonds as much as it breaks.
Follow manati. Manes sling yok. The genkin ala to buy.
Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe weapon.
Follow Sakata Poto.
Once you've dealt with the rival's outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu.
Hello.
They passed the point of no return.
Ro platch.
Seeing
Hello. Ro platch.
Myriad wants unity between the...
Pale wala papa. Waka mulo sada. Lapu.
Anyway, the memories you make with your family are strong and can sometimes come to life. Passing the old
Can boof. Lapu.
even though it's now a different...
Palam when denke.
You have things to do, places to go to.
Galam fondai.
Says goodbye. Let's see. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled.
Right where it comes.
Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over.